How's it going, people? Hope you all are having a wonderful day. For today's video we're going to take a look at 10 things that we used to have but are no longer in Save the World. If you enjoy the video, don't forget to drop a like on it. Anyways, the first item that was removed from Save the World that we're going to take a look at is the patrol ward. So for those who don't know what the patrol world was, it was a trap that was used to prevent patrols from Spotify turn off. For example, you would still get her to spawn during the escort, but it was mainly supposed to stop the spawns of random patrols that spawn from the storm. But even then, I don't think it really worked. All of the time you were still get some random husk to spawn, and even if you place it down, but eventually the patrol work got replaced by the anterior trap sometime within chapter 2 season 1. Next up we have the drift board, and the way you would be able to find it in Save the World is by just looking at your mini map. You see like a driftwood symbol, it can only see one player. You will be able to move forward, backwards as well as for sure, and you can also lean backwards and forwards while you're in the air to build up a score. The driftwood Save the World did move a little bit slower than the ones that were in VR. We didn't really have the drift board for long in Save the World, and I believe we only got it once. Next up we have the OG blasters. Now if I had to describe the old blasters, I would say they look exactly like regular husk but taller and purple. They also shot lasers, but as you can tell they used to look a lot different than they do today. Anyways, next steps, and I actually forgot these things even existed, and these people have the original nature husk before they were changed to yellow, and honestly I think they look pretty cool. I wouldn't necessarily say bring them back to replace, but maybe you could ask like a new element, perhaps like a dark element, and give them some sort of special ability like the other elements of us have. They don't even have to be here year-round, right? Maybe you can just have them included in certain events, but I wouldn't mind seeing the return of Purple Husk and Save the World. Next up we have the Lost in Transit mission, and this is another mission that was only around for a limited amount of time. The description that came with it said you have 15 minutes and update their GPSs to send them on their way. Some will be surrounded by the enemy, others will be under attack or need refueling. Most of the areas covered in a storm, and the safe areas on the moon. Rescue all of the trucks and survive the storm until evacuation. So on the Lotus screen it said you only have 15 minutes area because Husk went supplies for themselves, and you also have to update the seatbelts GPS. So I'm going to go ahead and show you just a little bit of gameplay of it. If you would like to see more gameplay of Lost in Transit, be sure to check out the link in the description. But this wasn't really a difficult mission. I was able to celebrate pretty easily, and I believe this mission was added the same time Eliminate and Collect was added, but Eliminate and Collect stayed while this one removed. So here's what that supply truck looked like, and there were 3 different types of defenses you would have for wonderful enemies. For another type of defense you would have to clear 2 waves of the third time. You would just have to get 2 blue glow and put them in the truck to refuel it. So you would have to do one of those 3 things at each of the 5 supply trucks, and once you rescued the 5th and final supply truck you just have to wait for the remaining time to run out. And that wasn't the only mission type that we've had removed. There was another called Beta Storm Test the Limits, and here's what the mission looked like in Twin Peaks. And for this one you would have to locate the starting gate, travel to the store period. You get through those checkpoints as quickly as possible. Once those 7 minutes are up, you'll then have to start at the start-finish line, go through each of the checkpoints and return back to the start-finish line, and you would have to do that as many times as you can until the mission ended. We did an entire live stream on YouTube, which I'll leave a link to in the description if you like to check out more gameplay of it, and it was actually a really funny mission in my opinion. It's for one, it's the only racing type of mission we have in Save the World, and for 2, it was pretty laid back compared to the other mission types we have. So I actually enjoyed this machine, and I kind of wish they would have kept it, or at least maybe just so we can have a little more of a variety when it comes to the missions. This is another mission that was removed. Next up we have the Limited versus Ultimate Upgrade Editions. Now for those who don't know, there used to be upgraded editions for Save the World. One was called Limited, which cost $30, and here's a list of everything you would get from it. You would get epic weapons, legendary heroes, trolls, llamas. We also got extra backpack inventory slots, got an extra account inventory slot, get the Boy XP boost for your friends, exclusive daily loot pinata, as well as exclusive founders. And here's all the rewards I got from that limited edition. You can see the banners as well that we got from the option to choose one of more hero bundles, one of them being the Constructor bundle, which gave you Power Base Kyle, Power Base Penny, and the Founders Deconstructor. Yes, I had the Ninja bundle, which gave you Lotus Assassin Can, Lotus Assassin Sarah, and the Blazing Massimian. We also had the Outlander bundle, which gave you Face Scout AC and Face Out, just as well as the Founders Quick Shot. And you also have the Soldier bundle, which gave you Special Forces Jonesy, Special Forces Ramirez, and the Founders Drum roll. So you would be giving the option to choose between one of those four with the limited edition, and if you upgraded to the ultimate edition then you would be giving all four of those bundles, and here's a list of everything else that was included in the ultimate edition. So we ended up getting more exclusive Founders, our daily loot pinata packs, immediate loot pinata packs, exclusive in-game banner icons, XP boost, giftable XP boost for your friends, extra account inventory slots, legendary trail stash, Llamas exclusive, legendary heroes exclusive, epic weapon, more backpack inventory slots, whose super rare Ramirez rifle, which is the Nocturnal, and we also got transformed keys. Speaking of transform keys, that's another item that we no longer have in Save the World. For those who don't know what transform keys are, they were used to convert items of a certain rarity into another item, and these transforming any rarity you can get them as a reward from the main quest line, and like a shower earlier, you can also get transformed keys from the upgraded editions, and I believe you could also get transformed keys as rewards from the collection book if I'm not mistaken. But the way it works was you would grab 5 items in your inventory that you no longer want and then use those to transform them into whatever your transform key was. So if it was a legendary hero, you would use 5 items that you no longer want and transform them into a legendary hero. Another way you can get transformed keys, I believe it's from your daily login. Speaking of which, daily logins are another thing that's no longer in Save the World, and that was removed recently, so I'm sure most of y'all already know about it. But for those who know, basically every time you logged in to Save the World you would get a daily reward, and everyone can be anything from a free llama XP boost to evolution materials to hero and weapon schematics to even V-Bucks. I see on average you get V-Bucks once a week, and that could range anywhere from $150 to $300 bucks all the way up to $1,000 I believe. Every $336 days you would get $1,000, and not only have daily login has been removed, but Founders daily login have also been removed, and you would get Founders daily rewards by purchasing one of the upgraded editions, but those will give you the same rewards as well as Founders weapons. So those are a couple of other things that are no longer in Save the World. Believe it or not, Save the World used to have a skill tree, and I don't really remember all of the details of it, but I do have a little bit of gameplay of it to show you what it looked like. You could also grease your inventory slots from the skill tree, but yeah, it's been a long time since we've had the skill tree and I honestly don't remember a whole lot about it, but you can see some of the skills you can unlock in this video. Alright, so before we move any further, I did want to show a couple of honorable mentions here. We have the OG loading screen. Here's what the old wall launcher used to look like before they put the big PewDiePie fist on it. Here's some gameplay of the old UI and what that used to look like, and you can also see the old hero loadouts before the hero loadout rewards. So instead of having 5 heroes in your support team, we used to only have 2 heroes in your support team. Global chat is another thing that was removed from Save the World. I know this is going to sound weird, but believe it or not, you can talk to people who weren't in your lobby or your party, whom you've never met, not in your friends list. Like, you can talk to anybody in the global chat. People mainly use the trade, though there was also a Founders chat, so if you purchase one of the upgraded editions you could talk to other Founders and ignore all of the regular people in the global chat, but most people use the global chat for trading. I believe there was also a lot spamming links to websites, and eventually it got removed, but global chat used to be a real people. Anybody else remember when we treat the data used to be a 2x2 instead of a 1 bottle of wine? Does anybody else remember that? The last thing I wanted to show that's no longer in Save the World are the original Challenge the Horse and the original Frost Knight, when she used to be called About the Storm. So the first time, what channel is the Horde? It was in this Plankerton style bayou. Before you load in and do it though, you would have to go to the initial staging area where you build your defense, and once you're satisfied with your build you would then load in to challenge the Horde, and there will be 4 different locations you would have to defend. For one way you'll have to defend one person's build, for the next wave you would have to defend the next person build, and basically you would have to do that for every way until it ends of the initial challenge. The Word also included a skill tree which would allow you to build more around your base and give you more materials in between each ways. Here are some of the rewards you could earn from the lower level Challenge the Horse, and for some ways you have to kill like a certain amount of energy, amount of time, and you could also get modifiers in between each way. But yeah, that was the first Challenge the World we got. We also got a chance to Horde the very next year, but this one was in a different biome. The second one we got was sort of in a desert biome, and I remember the main strategy people used for this challenge before it was spamming Cow the 13th decoy abilities. Basically, if everybody on your team had called the 13th, you have one person lay down their decoy, distract all the husky goes away, you would have to second person place down there is away the third person, and then the fourth president. But the rules were pretty much the same as the first one. He had to build your initial defense and staging area, then you would load in the Challenge the Horde, and then you would have to defend one of the bases for each of the waves. And the last one I wanted to go over was the Survive the Storm, which is Frost Knight's predecessor, and there were different versions of Survivor Storm. You'd have like a 3-day version which took about 40 to 50 minutes, then you have a 7-day version as well as a 14-day version which took like 4 hours. For this one you was able to build during the day, but you would have to defend at night at 8 minutes and 35 Seconds Give Me the Hydra was one of them. I believe you could also get some banners as well, but as you can tell this wasn't on a winter map, it was just like a regular Save the World map, so it's not exactly like Frostnite, but this is sort of what Frostnite looked like before it got its own unique map. I guess this is sort of like the first version of it, but yeah, that sums up all of the things we're going to go over this one. Let me know what you think about some of these items that never return to Save the World, and if there's anything that you would like to return. Let me know about those as well. Again, before I go, I just want to say thank you to everybody who has been using one. Hope y'all have a wonderful day and thanks for watching.